But do we have
and we
a
have a
quorum?
We have six.
Today's cuatro.
So it's over half, right? If I'm counting right.
Yep.
So I think we have a quorum and we can start.
Second.
Would you like to call the roll?
I suppose. Mark Harrington.
They ask us to do that.
Uveda Wilson.
Here.
Are you here? Carl
I'm
McGookey's
here,
here.
yeah.
Mike Zuloff.
Here.
Joe Haberger.
Here.
Kevin Zier here. Quinn Rambo. And Megan Stuckey.
Okay, all right. Very good. So we have minutes from March 5th.
I don't know. I thought I did them, but Quinn said she didn't get them, so I'll check on those.
All right. I was not here, so.
Oh, comes Tim.
There's Mr. King. So we got another one. All right. So we'll work on getting the minutes for March 5th before the
Good morning, Tim.
next meeting. The new business, the meeting schedule. So we're now to quarterly meetings. And so at 8 o'clock. So we made two changes this year. I mean, who says we can't change, even though we're an old committee, right? So we did two changes, time and when we meet. I think that will suffice. And again, we can call a meeting in between scheduled meetings if necessary. So we would coordinate that with the staff. So our next meeting will be August 6th. So.
Why August?
Pardon?
August?
August.
Don't want to do July. is it?
No, because it would interfere. We picked the quarter that we start in February. That gives, in the years where there's a new commission, chance to appoint members and have a meeting in February rather than skip a meeting in January and not have another. So February, May, August, and November, if I'm doing my math right in my head, every 3 months.
Yeah, but, okay.
All right? And again, if we need one, we'll have.
Is that, I could have sworn the discussion went differently.
All right. The introduction of the city website.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Meg.
Morning.
Just wanted to give you an update. Tom Horstman, our communications manager, does a really good job with updating all projects that are going on throughout the city. In particular, I know there's projects that you guys are more intrigued with on following. So I just thought, since you are going to quarterly, if at any time you want to go ahead and check out how projects are doing, the city's website is going to be the best case. We keep it updated. I talk to Tom regularly, so he updates it with pictures, videos, dialogue, context. So when you get to the first homepage here, there's a at the banner here it says City Projects. If you click on that, then it's going to bring you down and through to all the active projects that are happening right now in the city, and then he's always adding new ones as they come about or come online. For instance, I will highlight for you today the landing one. This one is pretty active. We update it monthly on progress, on how it's going with progress. So at the beginning here, it shows you a description of the project, some background, and it goes through some preliminary photos from the design. Then from there at the bottom, you'll find that he will upload updated pictures. This one's April 30th of 2026, and it shows the old runway there going out to the point, and he's got many photos in here. This is the elevated boardwalk that's going on the property.
It's amazing.
Which we like to call our own roller coaster, actually. So now City has its own roller coaster in the form of a trail. So I like to think that Cedar Point looks over at our roller coaster and is jealous from the park. But it's really coming along. It's really great. They've got the Heminger Trail. They have to, I think next week, there's gonna be 2 bump outs that get installed on either side of the bridge right there. So you kind of see, I can't zoom in, but you can kind of see that there's a void in wood timber there.
I saw that.
yeah,
I see
so-
it every day when I drive.
Yep, so off the side, they're building what we like to call like overlooks, where people can walk off the side, they can fish from it, they can view from it, they can take pictures. It's just a nice place that we wanted to offer to allow people to stop and enjoy the view right there without being in the way of any sort of pedestrian traffic in that area. This is a photo of, this would be what we call the lighthouse base, but this is out at the point right there. So it's gonna be more of a viewing deck because we are not doing that lighthouse structure. Underneath of this, there will be restrooms. And as I said, on the top will be an all wood structure for viewing. And then we have a crib pier that's gonna come out to the north of that right there, and the kayak launch off to the right. And again, there's still trail that's gonna go all along the outside of that. Yes?
Is there any kayak storage down there?
There is not currently. I think discussion administratively the first year, we're gonna get the feel of the land, see how the use goes, and there definitely are some opportunities.
Because that's a long drag from where your car
Yes,
is.
there is a drop-off though, where you can stop, drop off your kayak, and there's parking very close by. There's also parking that allows for cars if they have trailers that bring their kayaks on as well, in that same vicinity. So yeah, after that first year, there are opportunities that we've looked at for some sort of a kayak storage or even a kayak rental, things that we've seen over in Vermillion, Huron, and some of our neighboring communities. But again, that first year, we're gonna let the public get the feel of the land and kind of see how its use goes before we start pumping it with programs and all kinds of.
Who's our
crazy stuff.
drone photographer?
That would be Tom Horseman. Yeah, he does a great job. I really enjoy working with him. He's been awesome. Off to the right there, you can see that is the Frag Tunnel right there. So that is gonna be an elevated boardwalk path, and it's not elevated to the height of it's really tall, it's just up off that ground. Because it is marshy land, it's wet, it's mucky. So you get a dry, level land to walk on as you go through that Frag area, which is kind of unique. Everybody that has gone back there, contractors and everybody, just says it feels like you're not in the city anymore. You're surrounded by nature. The birds are unreal out there. The wildlife's great. There's deer. With this construction, surprisingly, we're not disrupting a lot of the home for this nature we're finding, because they're all still there. They're hanging out with the contractors. It's really a great project and something unreal. Like, obviously for myself, coming from roadway projects all the time to this, it's just been a dream come true out there. There's our city roller coaster I mentioned. This is a better picture of it. And so yeah, that will have, and it'll have railing on it as well. So as you walk through the trees, and we've saved as many trees in this area as possible. I think we only had to remove one larger tree. But with this, we're gonna plant in a variety of species of trees, some that are a little bit more developed than your smaller trees you see going into the boulevards, because this space can handle it. This is another look of that. So yeah, Tom updates this very often. I always suggest people get on here, take a look at what's going on. This is the view right there back from the west point of, there's a pathway that extends over the water right there, that you get a view of that Cedar Point view from the East Bay over there. And that's a pathway that's kind of the point out there where there'll be seating, where people can sit. There's like kind of at Jackson Street Pier, how there's stair step seating. It'll be that here, but it'll be wood, and it will have railings along the back for safety and things of those nature. So there's really a lot of opportunity throughout the project for that seating aspect, for the view, to take it in, not just walking through it, you know. So that's been pretty amazing. He does have March 19th, he put a video on there, and I can go ahead and show that. I don't know if anybody is. Let me get it bigger, I'm sorry.
No, it's not
Not going to maximize for it. Click on the YouTube, it'll go
Should
to
be the double
YouTube.
arrow.
Yeah, I'm doing the double arrow and it's not doing it.
Yeah,
There you go.
that'll just take you out.
Yeah, I think that's just gonna. take
That's in
me
a
to-
snowstorm.
You can probably maximize it there.
Yeah, let me restart it here.
There you go.
but I think I gotta close
There
out
you
the
go.
other one, hold on. All right, now we got this. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, this was back in March and obviously
That was a while ago.
the bridge wasn't in there yet, but that's his last video. I believe he's getting out there within the next week.
It's a lot of reeds.
Do they do burn off in that area?
They do not. So what we will do is vegetation control. We've got a contractor on hand and working with partners at ODNR. There's safe methods of making sure we have vegetation control out there. And it's a nominal price. It's nothing that's crazy. It's a twice-a-year application. So we'll start that up once it opens. Because obviously with contractors back there, them going around is keeping the vegetation down anyway. So we're not going to waste the money at this point on that. But they will not do birds back there because obviously we do have a wood trail. So we don't want fire next to our trail.
That'd be a good.
So we appreciate ODNR for that, everybody, all our partners there. This is that point right here where it'll be the steps. I think he shows, yep, right there's an image of that in the right corner where you can sit and stop and look over. And there are plenty of bald eagles out that way. I'm sure you guys have seen it traveling the area. It's just really unreal out there. It's pretty awesome. And then the stone path you'll see along the right, that all goes away. That's just there right now to get the construction equipment on to do that trail right there. So that's called a timber matting. And we went through approvals with ODNR and the Corps to get that back there in the wildlife groups. So it is a safe measure. It has breathable holes in it, you know, if animals or things like that pop up out of the ground. And then they also back here, a lot of that orange fencing that you see is called turtle fencing. So that is placed there to keep any of the landing turtles, which are known to be out in this area, from getting into the property. We have not seen any landing turtles. However, they have seen a lot of snapping turtles and soft shell turtles that are coming in from that marshy land right there. So there has been some activity. They do have, 2 people have claimed to have seen one of the river otters. So they do believe there are river otters back in this area. So they're definitely finding different birds and animals of all sorts every time. And that right there you're seeing is that roadway that you would drive to get back to the point area, which has parking up at the point, and there's parking back in this area. So there's definitely parking if you want to get to any point of the property. People with vehicles can get there, park, and have shorter walks to what they need to go to.
Mr. Chairman, could I ask a quick question before I forget about the parking? Is there like an easement through the Sports Force to ensure access to that parking, or?
We own all that. That's our property.
Oh, the drive around?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so you don't have to
No,
enter Sports Force to,
no, not at all. There is a
Good, excellent.
roadway up at the
Right,
front
got it.
that's called Skyway that we dedicated as public roadway.
got it, okay.
And then off of that, Cedar Point had donated over 27 to 30 acres to us of that property because they knew they couldn't do anything with it. And that happened a while ago. They
Right.
knew they didn't have the best partners and things. And at the time, Eric and Aaron and all our partners here had that vision.
So there won't be any access from Sports Force, or will there be an alternative access for? if a
Not for
cus-
vehicles, no. People could certainly walk across the grass area through Sports Force to get to the
Right.
area.
I wondered if people who were visiting Sports Force want to take a look? They
Sure,
have to
certainly.
drive around or walk through?
Nope, there are plenty of walkways. There's walkways that go up along the east side of their property that eventually we're hoping the Metro Parks will tie into. And then there's a walkway that takes you up to Cleveland Road and not only to Heminger. So they have access from the parking lots to get
Okay,
on
so
board.
while we're on that, the skywalk, will that be pedestrians only? What about access? Will bicycles be allowed on this?
Bicycles will be on it as well.
Yeah, okay.
I would, it is a wood trail, so I would assume people may not enjoy their ride on that as much as they would on a flat path, but certainly bikes could be on that.
Where's parking for? You just mentioned that where are the lots on the west side, west end somewhere?
So there's parking, let me see if there's an overall picture. When you drive into Skyway, you come into the property and then there's parking all along the north side of the property. So you'll have a pavilion and a restroom, and then there's entrances to the Heminger and to the elevated boardwalk, and then the entrance to the Freg. There's parking all along that, and then you get up to the bend that gets you out to the point, and once you get to the point, there's parking on both sides there. See if he's got a
Okay,
picture on here.
that's
But yeah, there's definitely plenty of parking out that way.
Do you have a number on the number of spaces available?
I do. It's over 100, but I don't have that exact number. But I know that we talked through parking, obviously with thoughts of, the sports force gets really busy. And we would hate to see that anybody visiting just that location is using our location for parking. So we have talked that through with Cedar Point and ideas on what we can do out there to alleviate that. But we definitely have plenty of parking in that location. Yeah, I don't have, next time, maybe I'll get Tom to upload something here or send something out on parking, but, yeah.
There's also, through the chair if I could,
Yeah.
I'm glad to see it's all steel structure, but we do have wood decking. Is there a plan of action for maintenance of this on a yearly slash?
Yep.
Okay.
So talking through with the wood decking, the supplier, the vendor, everybody, the contractor, we've asked, can we seal it? Can we protect it? Can we this and that? It's more of a natural wood. It's a cold treated type of wood. So if you did any kind of sealing or coating, it's not gonna help prevent cracks. It's not gonna help prevent splitting or things of that nature. Obviously, it's more of a natural wood. We do have mechanisms of maintenance as far as if the wood were start to split and you see pieces come up in the pathway, it's something we'd have to cut and sand down type deal to make it a more level walking course. With that being said, I know over the winter time, something that was of a concern is we cannot salt the pathways because it's over protected land. So at that point, the property will mostly be like a Metro Parks is what you'll picture it as. It's a walk at your own risk. That snow is going to become your barrier between the path and your feet to keep that friction. And obviously if it's icy and windy, I hope you're not walking out there, or you have the spikes in your shoes. So we definitely have measures for that. Same with the railings, that's more of a natural wood. It's all coming treated. We're getting extra pieces of wood and materials if things of those natures need to be replaced right off the bat. But for the most part, we feel pretty confident with what's going in and how we'll maintain that after that.
One other
Yeah.
question. Signage.
Yeah.
What is the plan for signage in that area?
Yep, so we've got wayfinding signage that will match what is on the Sandusky Bay pathway currently over on East Water Street and the new portion of the pathway that's gonna open up in June. So there will be informational signs about the property, such as there'll be a historical marker that talks about the old airport. There'll be a marker that talks about Heminger Ditch, things of that nature, and then there'll be signage that takes people down the path to let them know where they're heading, or if they want to head out of the park, where to go to downtown. So there is signage as part of the project for that, so.
Very good.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Megan? It's great to
It's
have this
awesome.
resource. And
Yeah.
thank you for
Can't wait to get out
pointing
there.
out how to navigate. and,
Absolutely, there's so much information, and like I said, the pathway, I'll give you a brief update on that. Again, our bridge was delayed through ODOT inspection over Pipe Creek, so we finally got our sign off days ago. So the bridge is coming to town on Wednesday. So Pipe Creek, that bridge is gonna come in town from Huron on 6, and it'll come in back behind Castaway Bay. And that's where they'll set the cranes up to set that bridge. That bridge will be set on Thursday. So if you're interested, find a safe place to park across the street. You could watch the bridge get set. I will say Tom Horseman's gonna be out there with videos and things of those natures, because it is exciting out there. So that'll get set, and then once that's set, it's full guns ahead. They're finishing paving, decking, and everything to get open by like mid-June. So we're hoping to do a grand opening before the 4th of July. So with that one, and then today is gonna be the day, the roundabout is gonna be opening later today.
That's what I was gonna ask too, good.
Yep, so that one is, I'm heading out there next. So that one's opening at the end of today. It's still a construction site. They still have stuff to do. There's still some roadway abutments they have to do. But they got it done and we're opening. We're working with Tom today on some PR stuff to put out to the public because it is something new for our community. You know, a lot of visitors coming in for Cedar Point more than likely have driven through roundabouts if they're coming in town because they're Cleveland, Toledo, you know, Columbus is huge. So we're hoping it's going to be what it is. It's going to be the best that it can be. We're going to, as a city, do the best we can to message it and help people through that. We had a meeting with Chief this morning before this meeting to talk through with his patrol commanders and things like that. So that truly is becoming a full city. Everybody's on board to get this thing open today. So, so wish us luck and just drive slow and just, it's something new and we'll work through it. But yeah, that opens today. So a lot of work on that side of town should be wrapping up in the next few weeks here. So I'm sure a lot of East Enders will appreciate that.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Very much. I'm sure they will.
For sure.
All right.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir, Mr. Zuloff.
you know, with a world-class coaster park in Sandusky, we shouldn't have to remind ourselves to think big, but we do. And when we do, it pays off.
Yeah, it does. It can be scary sometimes, but we're good. We got a good team, and I gotta say the contractor out there nailed it. He was, just a side note, it was supposed to be a 76, 78-day closure, and he got it down to 53 to meet this deadline. So I got to give it to Great Lakes Construction and to all their subs, you know, 7L and who else was out there? Oglesby and National Light and Power. They've been out there working day and night. The Oglesby had their finance director and the owner out there pouring concrete last week. So it definitely takes a whole big group of people to make things come together. So we really, appreciate them. So.
That's great.
All right, thank you guys.
Great presentation.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Anytime. I'm
Thank you
glad I
very
could show
much.
up and help. So thank you.
All righty. Any other new business that anyone has? Going on to old business, a number of items which say no updates, but are there any questions on any of the items listed under item 5?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Zuloff.
lest anyone forget, you already know about the Wheels. I have nothing to do with this, but I just don't want anybody to miss the Wheels Park grand opening on the 9th
Saturday.
at noon.
Saturday, yeah.
At
Saw something
noon.
in the paper on it, so.
Yeah, that should be, that's another destination. People are
Yes.
coming from
Yeah.
out of town to visit, and
All right. Any other items? Anyone has questions
Mr. Chair,
regarding Mr. King?
Megan, I think we talked about this once before, the dredge infill.
The what?
Dredge infill.
Oh,
item
yeah,
number
over
H.
at the wetlands. Yes, so we received more grant money, and so I am working with KS Associates. The plan is that they have to establish a habitat area back into that wetlands area. So it sounds like we're gonna do some phasing. He's working through core and some permits, because eventually there's gonna be 2 open sections on that cell that people could take kayaks through. But we have to get approval for where those openings are and how that water flow goes. But phase 1 is, well, I'll back up. This spring, they're gonna do some vegetation remediation, because there's just stuff growing out there that is junk. So they're gonna go out there, do some remediation on that. Then it sounds like over fall, they're gonna do some grading once they get through some of the restricted work area times. And then from there, they'll do plantings, some habitat areas in spring of next year, and then opening the cells by summer. So that's still in the works. We're working with KS on it, and there's a lot of permitting that goes in with that.
So in the past, I've had conversations with Mr. Klein.
Yeah.
With regards to, he said they had dredge material. I think the county would be interested if there was additional spoils that the city had. I think the county would have a conversation with the city to acquire anything that's surplus.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we have surplus.
All right.
Yeah, no. I know that we've had several offbeat conversations, and I believe Hank and John Rufo were involved with the Corps on some dredging items out in the bay. So that's a conversation to be continued, I guess, through them agencies. But yes, we know that there's a need for that.
Very good, thank you.
For sure.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Zuloff.
Lions Park request for qualifications or request for, remind us of the status of that.
That, I believe, so that's Aaron, Blair, and Josh. I believe, yes, they have a request for qualifications out for a design firm to come in, because we have the preliminary site plan of what we want to do out there with restoring the beach habitat, creating a walkway, some nourishment spots, items of that nature. And I know that we've submitted for 4 grants. We haven't heard back on any of them yet. And I know that the RFQ is to get a design firm on to help complete and do the detailed design of that, to then hopefully get into a construction year next year is what I believe the
Okay.
schedule is, so.
And Mr. Chairman, I had one other
Okay, Mr. Zuloff.
kind of tangentially related. Somebody asked about Phragmites burns, and I visited, there was 2 weeks ago, I think it was on the weekend, they did a controlled burn of a huge Phragmites stand in the impoundment at the Huron River Pier, the West Pier. It's stunning to see that. I would recommend, it's not a long walk, it's about a quarter mile out, and you can walk the whole thing in a total mile walk, but the expanse of what was a monoculture pretty much, and then just to see it burned, and it hasn't reemerged much. There's a little bit. Burning doesn't work for Phragmites. It's going to come back. But I'm not sure what purpose it serves other than to make sure nothing else grows. I don't know. I'd love to ask them some questions, but it is a remarkable site, so I recommend visiting that if you can.
All right, thank you. Bill?
Any update on Battery Park?
Not for me, no. I do not, I am not up to speed on that one. I know that contractors are mobilizing and doing site work, and that's about the gist of what I know out there right now. So that's an Aaron Blair one as well, I'm sorry.
I can update from the sailing club perspective. They were hoping, Maroos was hoping to take 40 feet from the sailing club on the, not a pier, but on the direction towards the bay along the backside of the clubhouse and down that way, but that's been negotiated, and I think it's going to be there taking 16 feet, fence will be moved. And I think access, nobody knows how long, but access to the club is going to change temporarily from our main gate to an extra gate that we have a little east of there.
Okay.
East or south, I don't know exactly what the directions are down there.
All right, thank you, Bill, for that update. Any other items that anyone has? Okay. And there's one from the community, so you're in attendance today.
Move to adjourn?
Second.
We're adjourned. Thank you.